Hello friends, new and old. Sorry for the video being a bit later than I said it would be. There was a bit of a medical situation in the family that delayed me. No worries, it doesn't appear to be a huge deal, and it looks like everything is going to be alright. Today we are going to be talking about the album Back to the Land by Brazilian goth band Escarlatina Obsessiva. This album came out in December 2018, one of the many goth releases that year. It is, however, not featured on my 2018 goth playlist because it was not on Spotify, though it wasn't really anywhere else either. It was a limited release of 300 CDs, and I just happened to have one of them right here. Escarlatina Obsessiva as a whole, I would describe as eclectically goth because their sound isn't the same with every album. They've sounded a bit more ethereal at times, they had a Victoriana phase, it changes. With this album, I'm reminded of some of the pre-goth moments in various goth bands' histories where they sounded consistently alternative but did not always push the darkness, just focusing on creating something new and interesting rather than feeling confined to a particular sound.
Away. I fly away from those things, 'cause when the darkness falls upon the lands, it seems to poison the hearts of men.
I have mentioned on some of my other platforms when I've shared their music that they sort of remind me of Susie and the Banshees, mostly because lead singer Carolina Escarlatina has a sort of similar voice to hers.
And then fade to peace. Why are we whispering? Na, 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 na.
This album, in particular, continues to remind me sort of Susie's work, specifically during the Juju era, though it's not exactly the same in case any of you hear that and think, well, why don't I just listen to Juju then? I am also reminded of some of the late 90s, early noughties ethereal goth bands with certain moments in the vocals and instrumentation. Related to that, there's a bit of a world music feel to this album. For those of you who originally followed me because you were hoping to hear some gothy music that sounded like traditional Latin American music, you've probably been severely disappointed, as only a handful of artists whose music I've shared on my other profiles comes remotely close to that. Well, if that was your wish, you got what you wanted. At least one song that actually references, at least in title, an orisha of the candomblé faith. For those of you not up on your religious literacy, candomblé is basically the Brazilian equivalent to Santeria or voodoo.
I'm fish at the sanctuary of sands. I am wind and lament, fire on hay. We are the ice that swallow the pearls.
Also, the opening song has didgeridoos, as in the Aboriginal Australian instrument, and it is literally called Didgeridoos. So we get to go all over the world with this one. This album truly encapsulates all the goth emotions, from disillusionment to ironic happiness, and lyrically touches on subjects from wanting to get away from it all to political revolution, which really stem from the same thing, am I right?
Mitigation of the desolation. They give you men all situations and all the revolution.
Overall, great album. I liked it. I hope you liked hearing about it. If you think you want it for yourself, there are still a few left on sale in the merch section of their Bandcamp page, which I do have linked below, along with their other social media accounts. I hope you liked hearing about this. If you like this, then I do videos on a roughly weekly basis, sometimes more than one in a week, sometimes more than a week in between. I don't have a set schedule yet about the media relating to the goth scene in Latin America. Mostly music, but I do sometimes talk about other things like comic books and movies. If you want to hear more of this music, you should consider following my other social media accounts, also linked below, where I post goth music and other things relating to goth media from Latin America on an almost daily basis. Till next time, bye.
Where the sun is more alluring and the shadows